You're watching Drake Queen Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Queen Gaming, and some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you into the Let's Play episode of Where the Demon Lurks. Oh, not sure where that came from, but anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go! Alright. The waitress escorts you both to a nearby booth seat. You fellas want to look at a menu? Oh, sure! She hands you each a menu before readying a notepad and pencil that were tucked away in her apron. I'll have a lunch set A. Fish and chips with a glass of apple soda. What about you, handsome? That's okay. I'm not one for eating. She puts her hands on her hips. You expect me to believe you can maintain that build and that shiny coat of yours by skipping meals. I assure you, I'm built differently than the usual customers you get. And I assure you, my chef Neil has never cooked up a bad meal. Order something. If you don't like it, your meal's on me. Just do it, dude. You've got nothing to lose. Lucian sighs. Fine, give me whatever it is that he's having. Got it. Neil, give me 2 set A's! You wait until the lady's out of earshot to continue talking. See? That wasn't so bad. Huh. Let's not forget you also got a job offer. Not that that would do me much good. Look around. This cafe would not survive through the year in this state. Glancing around, you notice that there are only a handful of customers. It's an uneasy sight since it's peak lunch hour. We can worry about that later. You need the job, and a piece of advice? Cool it with the whole mortal thing. People will think you're weird if you refer to them as that. But that's what they are. Even so, people don't acknowledge that. Anyways, we're going off topic. About the Underworld gate, there's still no signs of it during my short reconnaissance. No biggie, we'll go looking for it later. How? You hold off from finishing your sentence when you see the waitress returning with your drinks. Thanks! She smiles and heads back to the kitchen. Where were we? Oh, right. How are you searching for this gate in the first place? I use this. Oh, shit. He snaps his finger and a halo appears above him. What? Lucian grabs the halo and shows it to you. This is my halo. What are you doing? Put that away or people will see! You try to keep your voice down while swatting at the air, signaling to the angel to quickly put it aside. Oh, don't worry. Gary made sure this device is not visible to mortals. Plus, whenever it's active, it creates a special cone around us that masks our conversations. Huh. What are they hearing? Okay. I want to have a baby. That's great. Who's gonna be the mother? You. Dios mío! Oh my god. It's a fucking soap opera. Just turn it off. It'll just cause us more problems if we get ourselves in trouble over a misunderstanding. Alright, then we'll just have to be more careful, and you need to speak softer. He taps the halo to disable its filtering functions. Regardless, we can use the halo to find the gate later. It will beep more frequently the closer we are to it. Sounds simple enough. Anything else? Yes. Lucian leans in close, staring you down intensely. I need to pick your brain on something. Okay, shoot. What do you know about this town? Pretty much the same thing as they put in their travel brochures online. Kippleton's a small town that's trying to revitalize itself so more people will come and stay here. That's all. There's nothing weird about this place. Well, there's that one cult and a gang running around the town, but other than that, I haven't noticed much. What about this town's status as a red zone? What about it? That just means demons aren't supposed to be here. This town's souls aren't able to reach the Underworld. And that would be because... I don't know. That's all I can remember for those boring old files. Kobu, I need more than that. Have you been to other red zones? Yeah, 2 others. A city and another countryside town. And did anything strike you as out of the ordinary? Not really. I think some mega corporation was in the city. I seem to recall almost everyone worked for them, and the countryside town was super traditional. They worship some kind of dragon god, which I mean that's nice and all, but the farm life is not for me. Lucian leans back in his seat and crosses his arms. What about you? Haven't you been in a red zone before? This is my first time. I've only been on Earth for a few months. The halo never took me to a red zone, it was pinpointing your location. Alright, then why exactly are you so worried about these red zones? It's just... One second, y'all. Water time. I feel like my powers are diminished while I'm here. I cannot explain why. Are you joking? How are we going to defend ourselves from another freelancer attack? Don't worry about it. I can still take on any 2-bit demon that comes our way. You narrow your eyes. I can do it all right. Rest assured, you have the finest angel on your side. is this? Info? No? Okay, places. Red zones, okay. I've been to 2 other red zones before I arrived in Kippleton. I've got to be honest, I can't really remember them in detail with me running for my life and all. There was a city, had this mega corporation that everyone was working for. Like, the whole company had its hands in the city's activities. Second place was nice. They held this dragon god they all celebrated. It was a nice place, but it felt like I didn't really belong there if I wasn't a fan of their god. So far, minus the gang problem and the new cult in town, Kippleton is pretty alright, but if what Lucian says is true... You're not 100% confident in Lucian's words, but you keep that to yourself. Starting a quarrel over these feelings will get you nowhere. Reluctantly, you decide to worry about this when the time comes. The waitress interrupts both of you with your orders. A plate of 2 fish fillets coated with flour, fried to a beautiful golden brown. Accompanying the fish is a side of a crispy shoestring fries on a bed of crisp green salad. The smell of food instantly eases the tension and your worries melt away. There's just something special about the food in this cafe that always makes you feel better. She also places 2 ramekins on the table, one of tartar sauce and the other of mayonnaise. Eat up, boys! She smiles eagerly at Lucian. And if you like this, imagine getting free lunch every day just by being a part of the team. Fascinating, but I assure you I won't be easily persuaded by some cooked fish. He cuts into the fish and takes a bite. Oh. His face contorts into a look of pure bliss, then horror when he realizes the sound he just made. That's just... He looks at you, but you're just enjoying the show. The waitress giggles. The food was hot, that's all. Sure thing, golden boy. If you like that, you should try it with some sauce. She points to the ramekins in front of you both. A jolly melody starts playing from her apron. Oh, one sec. She pulls out her phone, and you swear her face turns pale white. Sorry, I've got to take this. The waitress rushes off to the kitchen before you have the chance to thank her. You decide not to pay her sudden appearance any heed. Lucian takes another cut from his fillet and observes the piece of fish in front of him. He dips it in tartar sauce and mayonnaise before eating it. This time he maintains his cool composure, yet you hear the sound of Lucian's tail thrashing against the seat. You shake your head slightly and chow down with Lucian. Come the end of the meal, the waitress returns with the bill. So, how was it, golden boy? It was acceptable. God, the food was great as usual. Compliments to the chef. I'm happy to hear that. I'll pass it on to him. Now, if you work here, our chef can whip you up something tasty anytime. I promise the pay is fair, too. Why are you looking for a new hire, by the way? No offense, but this thing's look a little, Oh, I know. My little shop has been struggling against the older ones that have been here for years. So, I've been thinking that my shop needs a gimmick, like, feel like the royalty with a handsome staff at Six-Fan. Handsome staff? I thought it's just you here. Of course not. Neil's just as magnetic looking as you are. Hey Neil, get out here! A single black hand extends from the kitchen and window and waves a finger back at the waitress telling her off. Well, he's shy, but a nice guy, so what do you say? Lucian puts a finger to his chin as he thinks. He looks to you as though seeking your opinion on the matter. You give him a thumbs up. Fine, I guess it won't be too bad to work here. Mainly because it saves me the time I would spend looking for some other menial job. Manners! Here's my resume. Lucian pulls out a stack of papers from his right pocket and hands it to the stunned waitress. His little magic trick nearly caused you to choke on a fry. She looks at the documents in her hand in stunned silence. What, you carry that around with you? Where I come from, a chance for a promotion can come any time, so you've got to be ready. Oh wow, you worked in a hotel before? That's perfect. I'll give the rest a look through. I'll call you when it's time to start work. Just like that? No interview? Naturally. My talents are undeniable. Sure, let's go with that. You sigh, relieved that at least rent will be easier for a bit, but you also wonder if Lucian will fit in well without you being here. Either way, as your lunchtime approaches its end, you return to the convenience store. Lucian hangs about in the back room until your shift is over. Come dusk, the search for the gate begins again. Sitting in an elevator, King sits bound and gagged from head to toe. The soreness around his butt is replaced with a dull but numbing pain from staying still. Each time the elevator changes direction, King lurches from side to side. The room itself is seemingly chasing after some far-off destination. King rests his head against the cool metallic wall, too tired to continue his struggle against the bindings. His eyes rise upwards to the demon who has his back turned to him. The dark bindings along his mouth start to curve further around King's face, with the tip resembling a dog's head, peeking out the corner of his eyes. Ah! Hey bro, you says you have a nice ass. Fortis looks over his shoulder and flashes a smile. Thanks. Glad someone noticed the effort that went into my training my glutes. This game is so silly. The demon flexes his bubbly posterior. King shakes his head frantically. He says to ungag him. Not a chance. I have a hard enough time figuring out what to do without you yelling in my ears. Dude says he won't talk much. And he just doesn't like me stuffing his nose. Hey, that's mean. It's not as if I like being wrapped around you with your soft fleece. It feels weird touching a mortal. Fortis turns around. Just ignore him. He can't do anything to you. Bro, he's saying he's going to lick me. Ew. Relax, that's nothing. He's doing it, bro. I can feel his slimy tongue spreading this mortal saliva on me. Fortis shakes his head and lets out a low growl. Fine. Return. The binding on King's mouth unravels and slithers up Fortis' arm. King's jaw drops as he watches the previously sentient shadow revert into a lifeless tattoo. Fortis points at the stunned alpaca. Now zip it, or he's going back on you. Fortis points to his right forearm. Exhausted, King presses his face against the cool metal surface behind him. Wish I could see where we're going. The spot where his head meets the metal swirls open, granting him a window to the space outside. Peering through the porthole-like spot, he sees portraits floating around a murky abyss. Like the planet circling the sun, the paintings appear to be moving in the same manner, but what they are circling around remains to be seen. The alpaca shifts his attention back to the demon. Fortis keeps mumbling to himself. He intently peruses the elevator control panel, indecisively reaching out for buttons before changing his mind. Where are we going? This elevator ride feels like it's been going on for too long. Just give me a minute. I'm thinking where to put you. Maybe here? He presses a combination of buttons and the elevator comes to a halt. Oh no. No, don't put him there. Please, don't put him there! The door opens to a bathroom full of naked demons showering. Crap! Sorry, dudes! Fortis rapidly presses another button so the doors can close and begin moving again. The elevator jolts, bringing back King's motion sickness with it. Did that guy have, like, 3... Yes, and don't ask. Now, how about here? While Fortis inputs the next combination, King leans to the side and squints to see the buttons. To his dismay, the panel is decorated with symbols beyond his comprehension. It's not long before the elevator comes to a stop again. The door opens to a desert plain. There's only one thing that stands out, a silent mass of people huddled around something. The alpaca blinks. Before him are beings on their knees, looking up with reverence. The outline of the incorporeal bodies is barely maintained as the wisps of their essence flow back and forth like smoke in the wind. A mixture of shock and fascination dawns on King as he realizes what these ethereal beings are. Souls. There's something unnerving about the whole display. King gulps as his eyes slowly trail up to the very front of the crowd. A stone sculpture. 1 second, y'all. Water time. The stone sculpture has its back turned against everyone, but something already feels amiss. What's that sound? King starts to hear a beating sound escalating with each passing second. The drumming sound that fills his ears is none other than the alpaca's own heartbeat. His eyes remain fixated on the statue, unable to look away, not out of awe, but of fear. A possibility so grim, so terrible may come to pass if he looks away. The fear grips King's entire core as his tears start to stream down his eyes. The metal door slides shut, obscuring the statue entirely. King gasps and blinks away over his dry eyes. Might be a bit too intense for this pipsqueak. What room was that? It's one of the mildest physical torture chambers, so it could work for you. Thought it could work for you. What was that thing? I couldn't stop looking at it. Yes, that's the demon Akios. You don't want to find out what happens when the souls stop looking at him. What in the world made you think that would be a safe place for me? I don't know. Akios seem pretty popular with mortal souls. Your kind can't seem to take your eyes off of them. I don't think those souls have a choice in the matter. Fine then, I'm using Plan B. Fortis presses another series of buttons and the elevator opens up to a plain-looking office space. Let's go! He pulls King up by his bindings and places the mortal on his shoulder. Being carried by a strong man would be more fun if I wasn't being held against my will. Fortis walks across the room and pulls out a pair of keys to open the pantry door. Once inside, he drops the alpaca on his butt and locks the room. Ow! If you're trying to bruise my peaches, you did a good job. Fortis extends his hand out of the binding, and the bindings unravel. King gets up and scans the area. This looks like an average-looking pantry room, down to the distinctive smell. Well, Vendrake said to stuff you in a pantry, so here you are. I'm not getting paid enough to be looking for rooms. If you need a toilet, it'll be the door next to the sink. Over there's the coffee machine. Fortis goes on, but King is lost in his thoughts. His eyes fall upon the key dangling from out of the demon's jacket pocket. With that key, he could escape the pantry and make a run for the elevator. He could go home. He could warn Kobu that Vendrake's coming. The sound of a crimson portal ripping open in the middle of the room derails King's train of thought. Wait, you're leaving? Enjoy your afterlife. Fortis heads for the portal. Wait! What now? I mean, what am I going to do about food? Like I said, just eat whatever's in the fridge. King walks over and opens the fridge. He instantly reels back. Is that moldy cheese? And oh my god, there's an eyeball in that container of leftovers. I can't eat these. Fortis rolls his eyes. Come on, food is food. It's not like you're trying to build muscle or anything. Ping pong, ping pong, ping. Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me? The cat general's voice comes clear through the PA system. A mayor? That sounds like the voice of that demon with all those arms. What's he making an announcement here? Yeah, I see you guys on my monitor. Figured you'd bring him to the pantry. Really? How'd you even know I'd bring him here? Simple. I inferred that you'd either take Vendrake's words literally, or you'd realize that there was no safer place for him but here. Oh, really now? You were that sure those were the only things I would have done? There was a silence that drags on for a few seconds before Mare responds. That, and I bugged the mortal when you were walking out with him. Alright guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks, or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!